Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and it looks like we have some really interesting news about the upcoming Ghost of Tsushima movie coming in the next few years. And initially, when I heard this movie was coming out, I was concerned. It's Hollywood. I don't trust any adaptations these days. I don't trust Hollywood these days. I just decided to wait and see how things turned out before I got truly excited about this movie. I do love the game. I think it's one of the greatest games from the last 10, 15 years. It was an incredible game, beautifully done, well written, and just an overall incredible story. But these comments here from the director are actually some really fascinating ones that I do want to highlight that go way deeper than just this part that's in the headline, and it's some really great stuff that makes me excited about this upcoming movie. Ghost of Tsushima director wants to make a Japanese language film with Japanese cast, and I'm 100% on board with that. I love that idea. I've been getting a lot more into Asian culture and Asian entertainment the last few months as I'm a new co-host on the OBG70's Firepot live streams every Monday night, and I've been doing a lot of subtitles, reading a lot of that, getting into that type of entertainment, and I've been loving nearly everything that I've watched over there on that channel. So I'm 100% on board with this. I think that would be a fantastic idea, and this is very similar to what I wish Prey would have done. I kind of wish Prey had been filmed entirely in Comanche, just with English subtitles to really get that immersive history aspect to it, and this movie seems to be going in that direction. Now, I hadn't heard of this director, Chad, I can't pronounce his last name, I apologize, but apparently he's done the John Wick movies, so I know the action is going to be incredible. Yeah, he's an American stuntman, so the action in this movie is going to be great, so that's a big sell point for me as well, because I know the action was a big selling point of the game, the combat styles, and it'll be really interesting to see how he brings that forward. But there's this paragraph here that I want to delve into that brings a lot of this stuff to the table that I really, really like. So he's just talking about the movie a bit. It's a fantasy period. It's done with reverence to Kurosawa, who's probably in the top biggest influence of my life in film as it goes. Yeah, Kurosawa has so much influence on movies these days, and even back in the day with Star Wars had heavy influence from Kurosawa. I recently saw The Seven Samurai for the first time. Really great movie. I had a few issues with it, but it was a really good movie, and I can see why it's affected the film industry for as long as it has been. So if this director loves Kurosawa and wants to make this as a love letter to Kurosawa just as much as the game was a love letter to Kurosawa, that I'm 100% on board with. That's a good thing. It's a change to push technology and people and stories that's timeless. Yes, absolutely. It's your typical mythological story, good versus evil, finding a man, watching him change the world or the world changes him. It's all Joseph Campbell stuff that you'd love in a story. You put that in with, obviously, so I'm told, in a bit of samurai fetish. Yes, I have a samurai fetish as well. It's pretty badass stuff, which is probably true from manga and anime and stuff. So this guy, he's proving that he's a fan of this stuff. He's a fan of Kurosawa. He's a fan of this game detailing some of the stuff that it's about, and anime, manga. He's a fan of that culture to such a good degree that he can understand it and bring it to life in a way that really is necessary for a story of this caliber. Now, the thing I want to highlight here is the fact that when he's marketing this movie, he's not marketing it off of woke identity politics like so much of Hollywood is. He's not saying stuff like, "Ooh, we're going to make sure we cast these types of people. Oh, we're going to make a focus on it's about inequality," or stuff like that, modern stuff. He's not talking about modern day issues. He's just saying, hey, I love this time period. I love Kurosawa. I love this stuff. I'm so excited to bring the fans of this stuff a great story from the game and adapt it in a way that you all love. He's just coming about the marketing perspective in such a positive way that is so rare in Hollywood these days that I have to give him props for that, because it's what we want. It's good customer service. Talk about the plot, talk about the story, talk about what you're excited for. Don't talk about the messaging you're going to put in and the casting you're going to put in. Sometimes those messaging and casting can be good things and a good part of the story, but when you hyper emphasize on it in the marketing, such as the She-Hulk TV series, you damage the product, because I know a ton of people who are not going to see the She-Hulk TV series because of that woke marketing approach. The show may not be woke. There's definitely that possibility, but they would have already driven away so much of their fan base, and the inclusion of the stuff that they're marketing about can be done in a positive and good way. Woke stuff can be good, in my opinion. I'm okay with anything being included as long as it's with good writing. Then my problem is 9 times out of 10, woke equals bad writing, because the wokeness was included to cover up bad and lazy writing. That's my opinion, at least. But I can be okay with it. So that stuff that they're talking about could be good in the show, but with a hyper emphasis on it in marketing, they've already driven away a large portion of their fan base. This guy, Chad, he has not done that. He's saying, I love all of this stuff. I love that you guys love it. I hope that I can give it to you in a way that you like, and I'm going to be talking about this and this. It's just really, really classy stuff, honestly, stuff in the classic Hollywood. Like when you see George Lucas marketing for the original Star Wars film, he's just talking about how it's a fantasy, about how it's the hero's journey. He's talking about the story and the characters. He's not talking about, oh, this is about overcoming an oppressive government. Like today, we don't like our president, and yeah, there's a guy who's basically our president in the movie. No, he's just talking about the story and characters, just like Chad is, and it's a great, great thing to see. And he does comments do continue here. So I think we did this right. It would be visually stunning. It's character driven. It's got an opportunity for great action, great looks. Yes, some incredible action. He'd be a good man to bring the action to life. I hope he's not writing it, or the John Wick guy isn't writing it, because John Wick I'd never thought were particularly profound in their script. But if they brought the Ghost of Tsushima game writers with him as the director, I think that would be a killer combo to make an incredible movie. And honestly, we try to do it all in character, meaning it's a Japanese thing about the Mongols invading Tsushima, the Tsushima Island, complete Japanese cast in Japanese, and it's historical accuracy. That's something that people are always okay with when it comes to movies and stuff like this. People are okay with reading subtitles if it's for a good reason. So I actually am more excited about this movie because of this decision to make it all Japanese cast with Japanese language. I think that's going to be a fantastic story. So initially I was very concerned about this movie, not really getting my hopes up until I heard more news. Well, I've heard more news and I'm loving every single thing I hear about this. I'm actually looking forward to this movie now. I don't think it has a release date yet. I think it's very early pre-production stages, but that's some really exciting stuff that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a Hollywood movie now, a game adaptation now. I can't remember the last time I was looking forward to a video game adaptation. And this story is just really incredible. I just hope that they try to adapt it accurately with the same spirit and same heart and the same passion of characters. And if they do that, they'll do all right, because they've already got the passion for the time period, the era, the culture, and so many other important things that could make this a truly incredible film. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.